everyone, and welcome to Superhero Speak. I'm your host, Dave.
And I'm tired. I mean, John.
I'm JD. I should be tired. The kid came back, but I'm too busy to be tired.
Yes.
Well, that and you missed them for so long, you know.
It's been 3 days. So I'm adjusted now.
Oh, okay. Adjusted right back to, oh, God.
So, John, how was your week?
I have changed my mind. If I am to ever get a time machine, it's going to be Baby Hitler second, the guy who invented daylight savings time first.
But it was for the farmers.
We're not an agrarian society anymore. That was like
Well,
3 ages ago.
I never understood that argument anyway, because farmers just get up when the sun comes up. They don't care
exactly.
what time it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because they get up with the animals, and the animals don't have a concept of time.
Right.
Or
Well,
space.
chickens do, but that's according to the sun too.
Yes, they have a concept of sun.
Yes.
They have a concept of light. Yeah. The daylight savings is bullshit, man.
It is. And it's like every year they come out with the statistics, like last year, 40,000 more people died in the following days after a daylight savings time adjustment because everybody's walking dead,
You could just move to Arizona, I guess.
It's true.
No, that's true. They don't have it there.
No, they don't. Because, it's a desert.
Yeah, well, they want you to be more aware so you can, avoid the copperheads or the,
So then,
whatever.
other than your desires to time travel and kill people, what else is going on with you, John?
Actually, I had a question for you guys, and that, well, first off, I binge watched over the weekend. I was kind of sick, so I binged watched a bunch of anime, and I found an anime that I hadn't seen before. So I've got a new one for you, JD.
What's
I
up?
got a new one for you. Are you ready? You want me to lay this on you here? It's Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody.
That's beautiful.
I know, right?
I have no idea what it's about, but that's one hell of a
The
title.
titles aren't supposed to tell you what it's about.
It sounds like
They
an emo band from the early aughts.
Right? Doesn't it?
Like they could have opened for My Chemical Romance.
It's true. Yeah. So but aside from that, I was tooling through Amazon.com and I caught wind of Batgirl Year One, and I haven't read that yet. So I was thinking I'm just going to get it. Have either of you guys read it?
I haven't read it, but I remember
Yeah.
it came out maybe
A
a
while
decade
ago.
Yeah, it's not brand new. I forget who wrote it. Maybe Gail Simone?
It
Probably.
is- let me look at my cart here. It's 10
years
Chuck
ago?
Dixon.
Oh,
Chuck Dixon.
Chuck. Okay.
And Scott Beatty was the illustrator.
Huh.
The illustration looks great. But yeah, so I figured I'd get that. So otherwise, that's been my week. And making sure I have enough alcohol for the Snyder stuff.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have to talk about that.
I know, seriously, every time I see a new trailer, I'm like, okay, how much movie was on the cutting floor?
Well,
Because this is ridiculous. Like, it looks like a totally different movie. Like, I don't
From
think
what
there's any part of it that's new. That's not new. I mean,
from what I've heard, Josh Whedon, when he took over, filmed 80. What we saw from him was 85% new.
well, he has to do a certain, like we said before, he has to do a certain amount to get the director credit, right?
Right. Maybe it's the hair, JD.
Oh yeah, no, I
Headphones.
have to get a haircut too. Not as bad as JD.
Uh,
So that's how I'm doing. You can move on.
So no, I heard it's 85% new footage that he did. So now it's all back to Snyder's original footage. Uh-oh.
It really is a completely different movie.
Stop working.
Oh,
Technical difficulties. So
we've already lost what we talked about Snyder. We've already lost one of our hosts.
yes,
That's all it took
so-
was just mentioning it. I mean,
Well, JD's had it with Snyder. That's the other thing I
I'll
wanted
take
to
that.
say.
I'll take a drink to that.
That's the other one thing I wanted to say, and it's a shame he's not here at the moment. Is have you seen any of the early reviews?
No, why?
It's very mixed. There are people. It's like they either love it or they're like, "This was stupid. Why did they make this?"
That's a typical Snyder film, right? The
Yeah,
people who don't care about storyline, don't care about continuity, don't care about like interconnecting tissue of a narrative, they love it. And people with brains don't like it. It's like,
wait,
dunk,
wait a minute.
dunk.
What if you end up liking this movie?
I don't think I will. I like everything I've seen so far just makes it even more of an ode to ego. You know, it's like it takes itself so damn seriously that you're just sitting there going, I mean, you're not watching a story, you're watching somebody's ego try to impress you. That's all it
Yeah.
is, you know? Somebody who is so into themselves that they don't understand how it looks to other people. I mean, that's literally what it is. It's somebody completely unaware of how their presentation of themselves appears to other people.
Yeah, I won't disagree with that. It's just, I don't know. I don't know how he got this far.
Well,
to tell you the truth.
it's the fan thing, right?
Yeah.
The fans are demanding it. The fans are going to get what they asked for. I don't know if they understand what that is.
Well, and they've already been calls. He's got to come back quick. There's already been calls to, allow him to continue it now.
You're fucking kidding me.
Nope, from the fan community. Yep.
I mean, I did hear the rumors that this thing is packed with, hooks for future films.
Yes.
But
yes, and there's actually something I forgot to include in the news that we have to talk about in relation to the Snyder Cut.
Okay, I think we'll cut here. We'll cut here and wait for him to come back. That's all I want to do without him. I mean, I don't want to do anything without him, but
I'm just enjoying watching them walk back and forth. Oh.
Stand by.
Well, you did ask me to stand. Can you read that?
Hello?
You told us to stand.
There we go. Wire on my headphones just died.
Huh.
Oh, that's
John
why
was going. John was going. And I was.
No. That's actually what he was saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry for derailing.
I sometimes mumble.
Well, that's what I figured at first. Then Dave was mumbling, and I'm like, "Well, that ain't right."
Yeah. We got on a tangent about the Snyder Cut and how there's mixed reviews of it. There's some people calling for him to continue on, and that those people should probably be the first to be sent to Mars
or chemically castrated, one or the other.
Yeah, I can't argue with any of that. That is the discourse that we've seen online already.
Yes.
Hey, I just unplugged my computer.
Technical.
Wow, JD is having a night. I'm telling you.
Yes.
Can you still hear us, JD?
No.
Oh, can you still? Oh, yeah. I will say one thing though. The score, right? The score for the Snyder Cut. Who scored? It's a different. They changed who scored it, right?
Who's they? What are we talking about specifically?
The theatrical cut was done by Danny Elfman. Zack Snyder's cut is by Tom Holkenborg.
Okay, yeah, because that's yes. Well, the score's usually director's call, so Whedon brought in Danny Elfman.
Right.
Right, which was kind of forgettable. Like,
It was forgettable because I forgot he did it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get back to the Snyder Cut. Besides technical difficulties, how are you, JD?
yeah, geez,
Jesus,
JD,
busy.
did you roll a 1 on the D20 for your luck? I mean,
I don't know what that means.
It's a D&D reference.
I figured I heard a roll of something and I was lost. Good. I'm okay. I got asked. I'm hosting a show on the Vover. I've told you guys before. This audio Twitter network thing. I'm gonna do a Falcon Winter Soldier review show by myself. It's a 10-minute podcast where you just that I have to have it recorded immediately after the show is done and posted by 6 a.m. Friday morning. So I played myself.
Yeah.
Now I have to stay up late and work on Thursday nights because I was all excited. And I'm like, well, no one's going to be able to, because I was going to try to have one guest co-host with me a week and no one's going to want to stay up.
I'll do it.
Well, we'll talk.
Wait. But you like to sleep.
I do like to sleep.
I do, but I also like to tell people at work that I'm taking a day off. And I just
Every Friday?
What?
Every Friday for the next 6 weeks?
Well, actually, I have a lot of flex because we're not going to the conventions. I have all this flex time that has to be used by July.
Hey, John, want a job?
and this is my first year where I get 3 weeks of vacation instead of 2. And since we're not going to have any of the conventions, including New York, it's like, it's like I might as well just take the last 2 months of the year off. Right, but the flex time has to be out by July 1st. So
if you want in and you don't mind staying up till 3 a.m. to watch and recording at 4 a.m. to watch the show, you're on.
Holy shit! Is that when it's on?
The time that because it premieres at midnight Pacific, which is 3 a.m. for you guys.
Yeah. Which
is 2 a.m. for me.
Oh,
so the show's 35 minutes long.
The way
they got to record a podcast.
The way my circadian rhythms go, it would be better for me to like go to bed at 5 p.m. the night before and get up at 3, and I'll be perfectly fine then.
I agree.
Because I am just like I'm a morning person. So I'll completely annoy the crap out of you at 2 a.m.
It's a 10-minute, like I said, it's a 10-minute show. It's like immediately first instinct impressions. What do you think? It's like no thought whatsoever. It's just like, this is what happened on the show, blah, 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 blah. So I'm very excited. It's
you two doing a 10-minute show.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem possible, does it?
No, it doesn't.
I'll take no, you know what? We could do the Falcon and Winter Soldier thing. If we like it, we could just sit there for 10 minutes going.
Just nodding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
put a car window up there.
Like, that was my week, and then that's about it. I'm between projects at the moment, so family's back in town.
Keeping you busy.
We'll talk.
Keeping me busy. Football. I videotape football, so we're starting football season Friday. So that's weird, as it's March.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Illinois pushed everything back. Wrestling will start in August or in what's the month? April.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a weird end of the year here in Illinois, but yeah, that's what's going on here.
I guess. I mean, it's high school, right? So
high school, yeah. I shoot high school stuff.
I guess there's not going to be any national games. Yeah, that's weird.
For us, it's just going to be it's just six weeks and no playoffs.
Right.
It's gonna be a piece of cake, but yeah, reminds me I got to hire another person. So yeah, that's what's up with me. Did I miss the what's up with Dave?
No.
Nope.
Because no one asks me. No one cares. Uh-oh.
Well, given that, moving on.
It looks like JD's having technical difficulties yet again.
It's gonna be one of those nights.
I think it's my headphones actually that are the issue.
Your headphones or the port?
Well, we'll find out. I just changed to a new headset, like my pink headphones. My wife gave them to me.
Yes, they're very becoming with your long hair.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out.
So yeah, I don't have anything to report this week. I one more pound down, and trying to survive losing an hour this weekend.
Yeah. Most
Yeah.
indubitably.
That's about it, really. Did nothing. Actually, no, that's not true. I went out with my brother-in-law over the weekend, and two single guys in their 40s going out to bars. It's not fun.
There are a lot of jokes that start with that phrase.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm one of them.
Two 40-year-old guys go out to a bar to pick up chicks in a pandemic.
Yes.
That's an anime title.
My God. Well, actually, that anime is already done, but it's called Interspecies Reviewers. And don't even ask what it's about.
We talked about that. You mentioned that on the show
yeah.
before. That one I remember.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't want to know.
No, you do not. It will get us demonetized. Well, it'll get us kicked off of YouTube.
Demonetized. You got to have it monetized before you get demonetized.
Well, that's true.
True enough.
All right. Well, enough about our boring weeks and all JD's craziness. Let's get on to a little social media madness.
I'd rather continue to do the other talking.
Well, we were talking about the Snyder Cut, right?
Yeah.
So somebody saw something on Twitter that's not related to us, but sent it to me in a screenshot.
Oh, me? Yes, I did do that. A friend of mine sent that to me. My buddy Jeremy, who now listens to the show. Thanks, man. One of my fight game buddies likes the cut of our jib on the show.
Is he Scout the Trooper?
No, he just found that one. He sent that to me.
Yeah, so Scout the Trooper said Zack Snyder's Justice League is brilliant, well-paced, and fun. The movie what we've all been waiting for. 8.5 out of 10. We'll definitely watch again. Then he follows it up with, the film itself is beautifully erotic, especially with the dark tones and color palette. I was beyond excited for this film, and it blew my expectations away, but in ways I never could have anticipated. Erotic?
There's no way that these are real. I had to send that to you as soon as I got that. I'm like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
It sounds like 300 in tights.
Well, check.
Seriously.
Zack Snyder.
Right, exactly.
Why
right?
wouldn't it be?
All Zack Snyder stuff looks
God.
the same. It's just whether or not they have shirts on. I mean, or masks. I mean that again, it goes back to, this is an ode to one man's ego.
Did you see the pitch meeting for the 300?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, it just came out this week, right?
Yes.
And that's why it was on my mind.
And then at the end of the pitch meeting, one guy goes, "Well, I could see a future for him doing movies of buff guys in tight clothing."
Yes.
And the other guy turns, "Is that really could that be a thing?" It could be. And then it was,
And then they show the Justice League
Yes.
advertisement. Yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
I saw that and knew it had to be podcast fodder. I can't believe these reviews. Like, I'm not saying they're people that, it seems like the people that are reviewing them are people that like them to begin with. So they seem like it's a very coordinated effort on Warner Media's part to get good buzz going about this thing.
well,
I think it's because they know it's going to be a disaster.
Well, because it's not for the receipts. It's for subscriptions to HBO Max.
Right. Which is, we're never going to know how successful it is.
Right. But they don't release their numbers, right?
No.
They do release some numbers. I think quarterly or yearly they'll release some numbers, but we'll never know what's responsible.
Right.
True.
People jump on because of the Snyder Cut. Because I certainly didn't jump into HBO Max for the Snyder Cut.
Right. It's I think it's we jumped onto it for Wonder Woman.
We did jump out of it for Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
They released the quarterly numbers probably at the
Quarter?
no the
They leave
stockholder
those
meetings.
bi-monthly, but
they probably release them quarterly for the stockholders.
Right. That's why I said quarterly. The quarterly
Yeah.
meetings, and we're actually probably coming close to that. It's March, so we should get those sometime in April. Will be the quarterly report. So we'll
That's
have
true.
an answer. We'll have an answer soon. I'm very curious, because people right now are, John, take your headphones off. the big knock right now is that Comcast lost $980 million launching Peacock.
Ugh.
And Disney's lost close to that launching Disney Plus, because again, they're all in IP purchasing and development phase.
That's expected.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is. People say like, "Oh, can you believe this?" It's like, well, you guys understand that these are brand new platforms that they have to figure out how to make work, and there's a ton of overhead to create these things.
Yeah, in order to get into this properly, you're going to have to lose money for a couple of years before it starts to take off.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna wind up. We talked about in the show. We're gonna wind up with network TV all over again.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be ABC, CBS, and NBC, but in their new modes. Like it can't last like this.
Well, I do my my budget. Like I go through my budget like once every 6 months or something, and you just basically figure out how much I'm spending on everything, and just on online streaming services alone, I'm spending close to $100 a month.
So you're back to cable.
Yeah, and that's well, I do have cable. I mean, like I get Comcast, I get the employee discount, which is in the like $30 range a month.
But they don't even hook you guys up with free cable.
What?
They don't hook you guys up with free cable?
No, it's $30 a month.
They used to. I know people that worked for Comcast years ago that got free cable.
Yeah. Well, when I worked for Comcast, was it 15 years ago now?
Yeah.
They did have it, but now, I mean, I did get like, that's the top tier of everything, right? Except for like the Spanish channels and ESPN. But still, like between that and HBO Max and Disney Plus and Rooster Teeth and Crunchyroll and just, all the different Hulu,
right.
It's just everything. There's just, I'm paying close to $100. So and I'm at my limit. I don't want to spend any more. Like
we don't spend nearly that much, but I'm at the limit too. Like I'm at what's 999 yen for New Japan World. I spend $8 for Disney and $6 or whatever it is for Hulu, and then
I think Disney Plus just raised their price too.
Did they?
I swear,
and $9 for HBO. So it's like mine's not that bad, but I'm not comfortable with where we are, to be quite honest with you. Like nothing else is getting added because we got rid of cable specifically to save money.
Well, that's what everyone does, and then
All right.
Yeah, here we go. The price of Disney Plus is increasing. Yeah, I just saw the notice like this morning. Disney Plus is going up an extra $1 a month.
Well, I mean, I guess that is the reason they're doing this. Now the more I think about it, like if everyone just got rid of cable and went to just Hulu and Netflix, then these providers, these channels aren't making the money they used to. So now they've got to be like, oh, well, you don't have to have cable. You can have HBO Max over here. And yeah.
Well, but we're reaching that. We've been talking about this for years, or for at least a year. We're reaching the saturation point. We can't add anymore. Like Paramount's going to come in and be like, "Hey, Paramount Plus." It's like, shut up, Disney, CBS already failed.
Yes,
get out of here with this crap.
And that's going to be all the same stuff. Like I don't know, they don't think they have anything else to put on.
Well, we're adding Frasier. So my wife is on board for the new season of Frasier. It's a family show. It's one of our family favorite shows. We'll have it for a month.
They are doing a new Frasier.
They are doing a new Frasier, a new season of Frasier.
See, that was fun a long time ago. Hello, COVID times. That was fun a long time ago, but I don't think who's the main lead in that? What's his name?
Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, Kelsey Grammer. Like. He said some things in public that people aren't really enamored of.
Here, look at the camera.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
What's your name?
Andy.
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 That's right.
That's very good.
Can you ask him what his idea is on the Snyder Cut?
What do you think about the Snyder Cut? Do you have opinions on the Snyder Cut? No. Do you like Godzilla? Mm-hmm.
Oh God, Godzilla would take out the Justice League.
Yes,
easily.
We had that conversation earlier today about how Godzilla would take out most bad guys. Go ahead, you can show me your Godzilla, and then you got to go to bed.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Okay, bud.
That's
Go to bed.
original G. That's an original GZ, not the Shin Godzilla.
He had a birthday cake that was full of Godzilla stuff.
Absolutely, that's awesome.
How old are you? Tell him how old you are. Tell him. Yeah, tell him. It's an audio play.
5?
It's an
Bye.
audio play. It's an audio play.
Wow.
All right.
Awesome.
Say bye to everybody.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Just. Come on. Oh no.
Oh no, you can.
No singing. Come on. Good night, buddy. One.
That always works
Love it.
until they're about 7. All right.
I got 2 more years. Sorry.
Oh, no worries.
Bye, guys.
She's trying to lock the door for you.
Oh, that's fine. I've completely derailed the show this week in a way that's not like I normally derail the show.
No.
Okay.
No, because your family came back.
No, that's
But
true.
but we're in like I'm again at work. We do a lot of Zoom meetings or a lot of Teams meetings, and I am used to kids walking around the background, dogs barking, and it's just normal now. It doesn't even like faze me.
All right. Let's move on then to our favorite topic of the show.
Yo,
And
WandaVision?
WandaVision.
I was gonna say.
So of course we wrapped up our review on WandaVision last week, and we had a couple of people chime in. Timothy Jones said WandaVision was amazing. I loved every minute on it. Although I kept waiting for Agatha to say, "I'll get you, my pretty."
That would have been a thing that I don't think would have been above them.
No, not at this point. And then, of course, we also talked about Evan Peters. There's a rumor that he is under contract to reprise a role, or retainer. I'm sorry, not contract. He's on retainer to possibly keep reprising the role.
That would work.
And Brian, who's at Brian B, said, "I love the show and his cameo, but it was a bit lame of Marvel to let us know Wanda will be in a movie that has multiverse in its title, and she has reality bending powers, only to reveal Peter's only there to be up a dick joke at the end." So,
Well,
I'm not disagreeing with that. Did we lose JD again?
no, he's turned invisible.
Oh,
There
okay.
he goes. So we're going to be doing a fundraiser for JD for new earphones. Anybody who'd like to donate?
My light went out on me now. Now I had to fix that. It's one of those days, man.
So did you hear the whole tweet?
I read it. I read the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess I don't know if because they didn't listen to our speculation then last week, where we were like,
guarantee he didn't.
yes, that most likely they did. They're how honest has Marvel been about their future plans?
Never.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not until they slapped the word. Even when they lied to us about what did they lie to us about? What was it Civil War they lied to us about? Where they changed the name of the Cap. Oh, it was Winter Soldier. Where it was supposed to be Cap versus the Serpent Society, and they were like, "Psych, Winter Soldier,"
Yeah.
and everybody was like, "Oh!" Like they do this.
I mean, if you want to know what's going on, just keep watch over Tom Holland's feed, and
That's even become a running gag over at Marvel now. Like
I know, right?
Like I said last week, like this is what Marvel does. They tease you with one thing, and they
Right.
go, "No, we got you. No, for real, here it is." Like
Yes.
again, I don't think you keep Evan Peters on retainer to play Ralph Boner.
No.
I know. I did hear for WandaVision that there were some things in the show that didn't pay off, not because they were just trolling us, but because they didn't have the budget, or they couldn't finish the CGI in time.
Senior Scratchy.
Yes.
We would have had a Senior Scratchy thing.
Yeah, a whole
Yes.
thing like that. And then there was they didn't get Benedict Cumberbatch because he was in Newfoundland or something, and it was a COVID restriction. He couldn't get out of there.
We didn't need him. Like, I don't think
Well,
a
they,
Doctor
they,
Strange.
maybe not, but they would have done it, which would have been everybody would have loved it, even
Yeah,
if
you're right.
everybody's counting
Yeah,
on
I mean,
it.
they
You're
even-
right.
they also talked about just once they got so far into the show, some of the payoffs they felt didn't match the tone
Yeah,
of what the show was at that point. So,
but we're geeks. We want all the payoffs. We don't care. It's like,
well, we'll get them in Multiverse of Madness and probably No Way
Stories-
Home.
Stories beyond. Like, this is
Yeah.
not like it's over.
No,
Right.
Yeah, not by a long shot.
No,
This is just the opening shot. Holy crap!
Right. We got a lot more shows this year. Just what do we have? 3 more shows this year alone?
What a great time to be
3?
alive for a geek, right?
We have
I know.
Falcon Winter Soldier. We got Loki. Do we have another show that I'm forgetting about?
well, the other show is What If, but I didn't know I thought that
Hmm.
comes out next year.
I'm not sure. I thought we were getting 4 shows. I thought we were getting a show quarterly. Or maybe I'm thinking of Disney. Maybe Disney's putting a show out quarterly, not just
Probably.
Marvel necessarily.
Right, because we're getting the Book of Boba Fett.
Well, there might be the Mandalorian season 2, right? Or
The Book of Boba Fett.
that's not Mandalorian season 2. That's
You mean
Mandalorian season 2.5.
yeah, basically. Well, it might be its own thing.
Well, they haven't made any announcements about season 3 yet, so
No.
Black Widow comes out this year too.
That's a movie, though.
Yeah.
yes, we're talking about TV shows. All right, moving on. Of course, we also did a one-shot review of Superman and Lois, and Andres Are said, "You believe a CW show can deliver." I like that. You'll believe a man can fly. The original tagline from the movie.
Yep.
Yes. And then Ocho Dorle Parlay Hour said, best opening 12 minutes to establish a character that some fans might have forgotten about due to other portrayals.
I agree with that.
Yes.
It's a great first 12 minutes.
Yes. We all cried. We know. So, yeah. But you're still refusing to watch it, right, JD?
I'm not refusing. I'm just not watching, You have to, care for it to refuse.
You don't care about Superman?
I don't care about this show.
Oh, okay. And of course, we also talked about the J.J. Abrams reboot of Superman coming. And Rob Foster said, "May I contribute one suggestion? An actor for the role that's taller than 5'5".
Who's 5'5"? Who's that a crack on?
I think they're talking about Tyler Hoechlin. Is that what's
Is
his
he
name?
short?
He's short. He's shorter than most people that have played Superman, but he's not 5'5". So, but yeah, he's not over 6 feet. I don't think he might just be 6 feet. So, because I remember that in the crossover, like when he was standing next to Brandon Routh, like you can see the height difference.
Wasn't that what was it? Dean Cain. How tall was he?
Well, he's a tall guy. He's a Division I football player.
Yeah,
Oh,
Like he's not a small human being.
yeah.
Hmm.
He was actually signed to the Buffalo Bills. Never
Mhm.
actually played, but he was signed.
It does not say how tall he is on his Wikipedia, which does not bode well.
No. He's taller than Tom Cruise.
Well,
Well, okay. Dean Cain's 6 feet.
it's a good height for a Superman. 6 feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Screen Rundown said, better idea. Give people what they have been asking for. Man of Steel 2.
Sweet Jesus, block that man.
Enough with the freaking reboots.
Block him. That person gets a block. You're blocked, sir.
That,
blocked.
he's just trolling us, right?
Blocked.
He's got to be trolling us.
You don't listen to the show.
So you're into everything. Wow, salty today. We are just
Oh,
so
if they-
salty.
If they respond to stuff like that, they clearly don't listen to our show. Like, give everybody
Right.
what they want. Like, that is not a tongue in cheek. This dude actually wants a Man of Steel. He don't respond. Sometimes you just have Twitter followers. Thanks for the follow. Blocked.
Yeah.
Speaking of people who listen to the show, and that some people accuse of being Russian bots.
What was Don, wasn't it?
No, what was it? Don who said he was a Russian bot?
Yeah,
Yes.
Don called him a Russian bot.
Manuel Caramano, Caramona. Yeah, it's Spanish. What do you want?
No, I'm not having you read his post. That's really good.
Oh, yeah. Listening to the episode, good stuff from the Old People podcast.
Hey,
Um,
I'm younger than these guys, man.
What?
But you're not wrong.
Wanted to clarify. No, I'm not a Russian bot, or am I? And yes, English is my second language, but my first language is Spanish. Keep up the good work.
That's Don, like, so because like, okay, man, while I was listening, that's Don doing that, who's not even part of the show. So,
Oh,
You
he's
know.
part of the show, but not on a regular. So
not on a regular basis. He's a how would I compare him to?
Alternate.
He's like Joan Rivers in the mid '80s Tonight shows.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Old people show.
See, you can make old jokes too.
That was on purpose, though. That was why I did that. I was trying to keep with the theme. And I like that again. I give up. This planet sucks. I hate everyone. Good night.
and
Wow.
and the Nick said this was a surprise, to be honest. So, because this is a response to when we do the shout out
Oh,
thing. So,
well, hey, thanks for listening.
yes, thanks for listening. All right. Well, on that note, boys,
It's
and
enough
girls,
salt to cure meat. I mean,
You were the mad one when we started the show. You were all like, I can't wait till I get on the show and I'm gonna tell everybody what I think and blah, 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 and blah, blah. And then my computer went to shit because I was in a great mood before we started this show. So
it was
Well-
John's negative energy came
Right.
through the internet and affected
Right.
your computer.
right, you brought this bad juju onto the show, and now I have to deal with it. I'm wearing pink headphones over here, which I have to thank my wife for buying.
All right,
Dave,
everyone.
move on to something that he wants to talk about.
Okay. On that note, here's our good friend Don to tell you how you can get more superhero speak and be a part of social media madness.
Want to be part of social media madness? Make sure you're following superheroespeak.com, where you can find all of the social media links for the show at the top of the page. While you're there, check out previous episodes of the podcast as well as other great content. And check the site often because we are posting great comic book reviews as well as other comic book and movie content every day. Make sure you are following us on Twitter at Superhero Speak. And while you're there, check out the rest of the Geek World All-Stars Podcast Network. Simply follow them at *_geek. The Geek World All-Star Podcast Network include great programs such as the Pop Prism Power Podcast, Colt 45, So Wizard, Fans on Patrol, the Gorilla Brain Podcast, and of course, Superhero Speak. Search for GW All-Stars, you will not be disappointed. Now it's back to Dave and the boys on Superhero Speak.
Thank you for that, Don. And don't forget to check out the Omega Level Nerds podcast, available on YouTube and wherever podcasts are available.
Before we go into the news, should we go over the Nerd Madness brackets and announce all the actual matchups?
Oh, we'll get to that.
Oh, okay, it wasn't.
First, we're going to take a commercial break.
Oh, okay. I forgot the format of the show.
We'll be right back. All right, we're back. And everyone remembers last week we made our picks for this year's Nerd Madness.
Oh, yeah.
JD, in his infinite wisdom, brackets them up for us. So we'll go over the brackets. John, you have the image in front of you?
I have the image in front of me. Yes, I do.
We'll have to edit this into the actual show this week. So, okay.
Do you want to go first with the anime matchups?
Where are they? Oh, they're there.
Do you know
Okay.
how hard it is to work these titles into a bracket, by the way? Because none of them can, you can't just have like, it can't be Castlevania. You know, it's got to be So What, So I'm a Goddamn Spider. Like, well, that's an actual title. No. Jeepers.
So let's see. Okay, so wait, you want me to just do like
Yeah,
what-
do the actual
different-
matchups. Yeah.
Okay, so Attack on Titan season 4 versus Bai.
No, because I had the brackets were 64 and we decided to go 32 this year, and I wasn't about downloading new brackets.
Oh, I see.
and
I see.
rebuilding.
Okay.
I wasn't rebuilding the entire bracket board. I just gave everyone a bye first round.
Yes. So just read the second column.
Okay. Attack on Titan version 4 versus By Felicia, I guess. I don't know. Attack on Titan season 4 versus So What? So I'm a Spider. Yes. Okay. That's going to be interesting. So like the So I'm a Spider, So What is like brand new, and Attack on Titan season 4 is kind of like My Hero Academia and how much fan base it's got behind it right now. So Dr. Stone season 2 versus Ruby. That's a good matchup.
Is the show called Ruby? Because I spelled it RWBY because that's what you
Yes.
sent me.
Yes, but it's pronounced Ruby.
Okay,
Red-
just making
red-
sure.
Yeah, it's red, white, black, yellow.
Gotcha.
But the main character, the funny thing is the main character's name is Ruby. RUBY.
Jesus Christ. I can't follow this. Continue, sir.
So yes, Ruby season 8 is coming out. It's been a really nice 8 seasons, and the 8th season is turning out to be just completely awesome. Dr. Stone season 2 is proving once again that watching somebody claw their way out of the Stone Age and be just like an uber scientist is really interesting. So there you go. Scientific Railgun versus Demon Slayer. You would need a railgun in order to take out the Demon Slayer fan base because they are huge. After episode 19 last year, and the was it the Train movie this year, which should be coming out this year or probably this year in America. So yeah, that's fun. And then Reincarnated Slime. Reincarnated Slime.
Trying to fit into a bracket, man.
I know. Slime Art Online. No, so that time I was reincarnated as a slime versus Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, that's a happy-go-lucky slime show, which has actually started to show some teeth now versus Jujutsu Kaisen, which has some incredible fight anime.
The slime has teeth?
Well, no, but
Wait.
no. The show is showing its teeth. Like the first season of the show was like popping candy, and the second season is turning out that people are starting to actually get hurt and like there's actual conflict.
Popping Candy is my rapper name.
Continue. I never thought I would hear the phrase "happy-go-lucky slime show."
Yeah,
like
that's its third title.
like a slime show is a genre of show, and this is just a happy-go-lucky version of that genre.
Well, it's not a slime show; it's actually an isekai, but
Words.
And Jujutsu Kaisen is, I guess, it's a shonen.
I'll go to movies.
No. Let me do comics first.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Which is, I find these matchups interesting because we have single issues versus runs. Or
I know
full stories.
Hey, we gave Don control of a bracket.
I
This
know.
is what happens. I'll read for Don because he's not here.
Is that Phoebe Cates Thor?
Donnie Cates is Thor.
Donnie
Oh,
Cates.
You wonder why they call us the old man show. Donnie Cates is Thor versus the TMNT Power Rangers crossover. Al Ewing's Immortal.
Awesome.
Oh yeah, I agree. I have no idea what's going to happen there. People seem to really like Donnie Cates, so my prediction is he probably wins this whole thing. Al Ewing's Immortal Hulk versus Swan 311. I was going to make a 311 joke, but that also goes right into our old man shtick, so I'll just leave it alone.
And Immortal Hulk, they just showed that Immortal Hulk actually has a kryptonite now. So
does he? I haven't been reading. Oh,
yeah,
okay, cool.
I just picked. I'm not actually reading it. I just pick up pieces now and then from, Comics Explained and stuff. So
Cool. Rich Duex and Alex Cormack's phenomenal Sea of Sorrow, the best horror book on the market. I mean that, by the way. Takes on X of Swords, Boy, Jonathan Hickman's got some crazy ass X-Men titles in this run. Dark Knight Death Metal, Scott Snyder's classic, versus Chip Zdarsky's run on Daredevil. That is your comics region.
I don't know. I got a feeling Rich might be pulling this one out, but we'll see.
We'll see how well I can campaign this time around.
All right. Television. Woohoo! First up, we have WandaVision versus Animaniacs.
You might actually see that in Multiverse of Madness.
But so, no. It's Warner Brothers versus Marvel. It's not going to happen.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Bravo.
Anything goes, right?
Snowpiercer versus Mandalorian. Whew. That's an easy one.
So they're going to Hoth again. Gotcha.
But you've got an interesting quarterfinal matchup when you get Mandalorian and WandaVision. That top half of the bracket is very heavy.
Yeah.
Hellstrom versus Picard. And then
I don't know.
And then Lovecraft Country versus Stargirl. That's a tough one for me.
All I'm saying is whoever wins that semifinal that quarterfinal between Mandalorian and WandaVision is winning this whole thing, because they are going to have a cakewalk in the finals.
Do you think Animaniacs won't beat WandaVision?
I'm fairly comfortable in saying that. And I loved the Animaniacs reboot, by the way.
I think we all do.
Yeah, a lot of people were, I think, overly critical of the new run of Animaniacs.
Well, I saw that. It's like, did you guys actually watch? Because I've been actually
I watched the whole thing.
Well, I mean, the people who are critical on Animaniacs.
Oh, yeah.
Did you actually watch the original Animaniacs? Like with an adult eye? Like, it's fun, but come on, man.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna fingerprints anyway.
Now that'd be really gross.
That would never make it through. That would never make it through these days.
I'm amazed it made it through then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I think they're I think they just didn't catch it because they thought it was it was a good misdirection.
It was.
All right, JD, you wanna do movies?
Yeah, my number one seed, One Night in Miami, takes on Enola Holmes in the first round. In my sequel quarterfinal match, we're gonna have Bill and Ted 3 meets Coming to America. We're gonna have Wonder Woman 84 taking on Onward, probably the most interesting matchup of this.
Yeah.
It's gonna be going. I literally don't know who wins this one.
I do. I know who wins that one, and that's going to be a disappointment to a lot of people.
You think Wonder Woman's going to beat Onward? Or you think Onward's going to beat Wonder Woman?
No, I think it's Onward.
I think Onward was the better movie. That's
it was.
I have Onward as my 3 seed in the bracket, and Wonder Woman as my 6. So yes.
Yeah.
Then the final match of the round: Tmnt versus Soul.
So 2 movies that nobody understands.
Nobody understands Soul? Really?
Well, it was kind of hard to follow, but
you thought Soul was hard to follow?
How drunk were you when you watched it?
What?
How drunk were you when you watched it?
Well, that was this last Saturday night. So that was that was double oaked barrel night. Actually, I may have to watch it again now that I think about it.
We're gonna let that slide. So yeah, interesting matchups in the. I think because we started so deep in, we didn't go a full 64 this year. We went to 32. I think we have some more interesting matchups first round. Usually our first round matchups are kind of like ass whoopings. So this time around, I think it's going to be some of them are clear, like WandaVision, Animaniacs. That's we all know who's going to win that. But that being said, I think that we're going to have some interesting things. Reminder: in the very first Nerd Madness, the history of pro wrestling was a 5 seed in its bracket and won the entire thing. It's a great Cinderella story. So you never know what happens when corrupt nerds are running a fan vote.
And I just want to say one of your other matchups, Enola Holmes, like if enough people watch that could very well win a lot too, because I'm sorry, that was a really, really good series, and I want to see a second season.
I agree. It is good. It just kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit being on Netflix.
Yeah. I know that's the problem. That's why I'm saying the more people that see that, the more likely it's going to win.
It's a tough. I mean, like I had to give it the 8 seed because I didn't think it was as viable or as important as the other movies that were released. Like, but that being said, is like I do think that One Night in Miami should beat it, but I could see that being an upset first round.
And most of that is because Millie Bobby Brown was the lead.
She's great.
Enola Holmes, yeah, and the second guy Henry Cavill,
Henry Cavill.
being able to act, actually being allowed to act.
This is interesting because I wonder if this movie came out at the box office, what would have happened with it if it wasn't like, does it have traction or does this go as a failure? I don't know, because we didn't really see how it got campaigned. It didn't really make much of an impact on Netflix. Like if it went out to the theaters like that, would it have been considered a dud? Would it have been considered a bomb, or would have gotten more push if it had like a traditional film release? I don't know. I think that's a very interesting question.
The thing is like, okay, I was going to say there are no explosions, but there isn't one explosion in there. But it's just such a good, fun movie.
It's a good movie.
And there's so few of those. There's so few movies out there that
Yes.
aren't trying to prove something, that just want you to sit back and enjoy a good storyline.
At the same time, it is genre fiction that's based on something else, so it does fit into kind of what we're doing right now. Like I'm looking at my list. There's not a whole lot of like original films.
No.
Yeah.
You know, so
Well, part of that is COVID, but.
Well, no, I know. I just meant like stuff. You're right. Part of it is COVID, but I mean, like, we don't put a lot of movies out that aren't based on existing IP. You know, the only movies that aren't based on existing IP are the 2 animated movies. Strangely enough,
This is true.
so good matchups.
Yeah.
You can vote this week.
Yes. So that's what I was going to say. Make sure you're following us on Twitter, and I'm actually going to probably put it on Facebook this year as well, because
Ooh.
I realized you can do polls on Facebook.
Oh yeah, definitely do Facebook. We'll get all of the hate votes.
I'm wondering what kind of a crossover we get between Twitter and Facebook as far as like, I wonder if like we'll see greater discrepancies in
That's my fear of doing it in 2 places, is if like one wins in one side and then the other wins on the other side, then you
Just
got to
tally the
figure
votes.
it out.
Tally the
you
votes
gotta-
between both.
you just got to do total vote at that point, right?
Yeah.
That's the
And
only
make
fair
sure you
way.
note that in both posts, or post in Facebook, hey, go here to Instagram to vote, or I don't know, depends on what you want to do. But
We'll see. Keep an eye on our social media people, and make sure you vote and vote often.
Yes, the Chicago way: vote early, vote often.
No, actually, you can only vote once in those polls. So unless you have multiple accounts, Joey. So
Oh, I like that. Snaky. Respect.
on that note, yeah, why not? We're gonna take our last commercial break, and we'll be right back with the news. All right, guys. There isn't too much news this week, but there's some.
just a smattering, a soupçon of news.
A soupçon of news.
Well, this is our reprieve, because next week we have both the Snyder Cut and Falcon and Winter Soldier. So there's a lot coming down the pike. This is kind of our I want to take a French word, but I can't speak French. This is our reprieve, I guess, from the madness of the last 9 weeks.
So, the first article was brought to me by you, JD.
I've been trying to do this every time I see something now.
WandaVision's creator explains why Wanda doesn't care about the White Vision.
It does make sense.
I think
Yes.
didn't we see similar stuff last week on this show? Specifically, didn't I say something similar to this?
Well, yes.
Last week on the show?
Yes, you did. I mean,
Yeah.
and from a writer's standpoint for the story that they're trying to tell in WandaVision, the answer makes sense. Oh, that's not her Wanda. I mean, that's not her Wanda. That's not her vision.
It is not for Wanda.
It's not her vision, so she decided to not go look for him. It's not the same as her husband. But that's one writer's point of view. My point is, what's to stop the next writer to go, oh no, now we want them back together?
Well, that's the thing, though.
Kevin Feige.
Yeah,
but that's
exactly.
comics. That's comics too, though. Is like that was the big talk with like I'm going to use the One More Day is the greatest example of like, you know, what people thought was stunt storytelling that's actually stuck for more than a decade. Is someone's like, because the argument is what stops the next writer from getting it back together, and the answer is Marvel editorial, right? And the answer to that is if Kevin Feige doesn't want Wanda and Scarlet Witch back together, now you got me doing it. Doesn't want Wanda and Vision back together, they're not going to. And like, I don't know. I think we have a nice little bookend and a nice little tragic love story that's hard to pull off in superhero materials. So I don't. If they decide to keep the door closed, I'm not going to hate on it.
I think
it
that
makes sense.
yeah, I think it'd cheapen it if they bring him back together. And besides, the Mind Stone made up a lot of his personality matrix.
Mhm.
Without that, he isn't the same person,
I
right?
I
Even
gave you
with all the
my
memories.
I
Yeah.
gave my theory last week that they meet up at some point and she can release the part of the Mind Stone that's in her back into him and restore him back.
Well, you know,
It's
I'll take it.
possible.
I'll take it either way, as long as they make it a good explanation, and you know they have to fight for it. Sure.
As long as there's a
But-
good story surrounding it, yeah, I'm okay. Like if there's some drama around it and we feel something, yeah, sure.
I will say this though, no more beating on Wanda. Okay, I think she's been through enough. It's like I know you need some tragedy to offset the good stuff, but there's only so much you can
That's
watch
like
a character
saying-
go through before it's like, okay, this is just torture porn.
Okay, don't ever read the comics.
Yeah.
That's the
that's-
Oh
first
yeah,
bit of
no,
advice.
I know, I know.
That's almost
yeah.
like saying that to stop picking on Peter Parker. I mean,
Yeah, no, you realize the next movie she's like actively involved, and it's not going to be to like have tea with Strange, right?
Yeah, I know what she's going badass or
It's
bad
going-
guy or
It's going. Well, we don't know.
going dark side.
But maybe is she gonna have pointy things on her? Like
Pointy?
Steppenwolf is pointy. Steppenwolf had all the pointy sharpies on him.
What?
Remember the Steppenwolf out uniform? Or
Oh
Steppenwolf
god, oh god.
Design.
Yeah.
He's like sharp
Yeah.
now.
Apparently, the more sharp, the more points you have on your costume, the more badass you are. Or something.
I mean, it's
that.
like it's very Liefeldian.
It's true, true.
Points and pouches.
Or
Oh, that's my new band.
Spawn, right?
What's
Spawn,
the badges?
Oh, episode title.
Points and
Points
pouches.
and pouches.
Oh, all right.
Rob Liefeld retrospective.
that's a little Toddy McFarlane too, right?
A little. It's a
A
little.
little.
Todd McFarlane.
No, but it's so
Mostly
Liefeld.
Rob Liefeld though.
Yeah,
Like
it's-
he was the pouch master. Like if you ever needed something, a Rob Liefeld character would have handed it to you because he was like well equipped.
That's-
Like he had like Cable had to have like 7 Leathermen on
Okay,
him at all
you
times.
mentioned
you know?
Cable. I've seen Rob Liefeld pictures of Cable, and yeah, I get it now. Okay.
Yeah, that's the Cable, the pouches. He was very
Yeah,
very
the
big on
bandolier with
pouches.
the pouches around
Pouches.
there, the pouches on
Pouches-
your legs.
Pouches upon pouches. Like he was wearing cargo joggers. Like they were everywhere.
must have jingled and jangled when they ran.
Oh yes, he didn't run. Nobody runs in a Rob Liefeld book because you don't have feet.
Oh my god! Speaking of Rob Liefeld,
Oh, did I segue unintentionally? Sweet.
do you know who Rob Liefeld helped create? He gets credit for.
Deadpool.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
And apparently, Zazie Beetz has come out and said she would like to reprise the role of Domino in Deadpool 3.
I too would like a Marvel paycheck.
However, there's no one has approached her yet about the movie. So
I just want to say that aside from the fact that she's Zazie Beetz and it's nice, she's good looking and all that, the way she played that. Now I know that playing that character, that character, the reason why she's so relaxed is probably because like that character is basically like playing life and rolling for luck with a plus 25, and everything over a 1 is considered a natural 20. But it's just she was so natural in that role. I mean, she's just so, I don't know, she's good for that role at the very least. I don't know how she is in other movies. I haven't seen her in anything else, but like I really like her in that role. And Domino is a really fun character to throw a little chaos into a storyline.
I too like Domino.
I'm laughing because JD's look was like, as soon as you start talking D&D references again, he checked out.
I just don't know what you. I don't know, man. Everyone's got a nerd blind spot. D&D is my nerd blind spot, man.
My dungeon master thinks I'm cool.
I don't know.
No, I think she was.
Talking to an alpha geek, so
No,
like,
I'm fine. I have no, dude. I'm a pro wrestling fan. I have no ill will toward it. I just don't get it.
Oh, though I will say I liked her in the role. I
She was
agree.
good.
She was really good in the role. But that's the thing. Like, we don't know what they're gonna do.
I don't know if they know what they're gonna do yet.
I don't know how they're gonna make. Like, it depends on the story. Does her being in there make sense? And two, how does Disney want to handle bringing Deadpool from the Fox universe into the Marvel universe?
Well, they don't. I mean,
They do because they
let's
want
fa-
the money, right?
well, maybe, but let's face it. If Marvel had owned the Deadpool character initially, they never would have made a rated R movie. It never would have been this good.
To be fair, 20th Century Fox had the character and had everything and didn't want to make it. Ryan Reynolds had to like be
Force them.
super sneaky and release a proof of concept video.
Uh-huh.
Went viral on YouTube,
Yeah,
and is
knowing
like
what he
legend
was-
now.
Yeah, knowing we talk about betting on yourself. Like
Mhm.
he kind of forced their hand. I mean, 20th Century Fox, you could pay them in a corner. I don't know if you could pay Disney in
Exactly. So
You know?
that's the problem.
But at the
Like,
same time, Disney likes money and they know it works. So
Yeah.
why wouldn't you do something that you know works?
but if they like money, they'd have a few other rated R titles, and they keep getting rid of any. Like Hellstrom is dead on the vine because
But I mean, Hellstrom isn't Deadpool. Deadpool has like
right
accrued interest though. Like just because Deadpool is the only R-rated superhero movie that's ever made any money. Right. You're far better off with a PG-13 because there's a lot of people that won't take their kids to see rated R movies.
But that's the thing. This is the time when rated R superhero movies could make money.
It could, yeah.
It couldn't have done that. Couldn't have done that
No.
10, 15 years ago.
You're 100% right because that's why they never did it.
Right.
So like Blade being the exception. Like you can get away with that with Blade and you can get away with that with Deadpool because they're different kinds of characters. Could you
Yeah.
do it with Wolverine? Yeah, you could do it with Wolverine.
Oh yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
like when you start going, man, we need an R-rated Superman. It's like when you've lost your mind. So I mean, like
Well,
right
yeah, but
not
Superman.
a bunch of them.
Right, Superman. I don't think you could. Yeah,
You
like
could.
the
You
character.
shouldn't.
Right, the character doesn't lend itself to that.
No, I agree with that. But then
Yeah.
when you start getting into that whole thing, is like, because like remember in the '90s that was the answer. It's like what worked for Batman has to work for everything in the mind of the studio executive.
Right.
They've
Yeah.
come a long way since then.
Hmm.
Right? And I
Have
think
they?
Yeah, I
You
think
saw
Well,
Man
Marvel,
of Steel.
Marvel did.
Maybe not at
Marvel
Warner.
did. DC not so much.
Okay. The Disney people, like Feige, has figured this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't speak well to the Warner people. This is gonna suck, right? I know. I just don't like all these glowing reviews because I'm reading these people. I'm like, who are these people that are reviewing these things? Like, it's nobody that I've ever like heard of as a reviewer. So it's like it feels very, very curated to me. Like, if you got someone out there telling people this movie is erotic, come on.
Again, it's 300 in tights. I mean,
Well, that was
that's what
that
it
was
is.
erotic. You know that. That's
I know.
That's
No,
different.
but it's both Zack Snyder. I mean, that's
No, it is.
Again, it's going to be a lot of slow motion, a lot of look
For
how
sure.
cool this is, and
Yes.
yeah, that the again he makes amazing trailers.
Yeah.
But when you try to connect it together for a movie, it's gonna.
Especially 4 hours of worth of which.
I know,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Like this
Yeah,
is gonna.
yeah.
Oof. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do Thursday night because I have to do Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm
What?
gonna watch the entire Snyder cut and then watch Falcon and Winter Soldier and record this like show on my own and see the like, levels of madness with which I've reached. I'm gonna be like a Lovecraftian character who stared into the void.
Jeez,
This
you
should
might
be
as well-
exciting.
You might as well just drop acid while you're at it. I mean, you know.
I'm watching the Snyder cut. You might as well. What's the difference?
Are we watching the Snyder cut together, or are we
We
watching?
are, but
it
I want to.
separately?
I gotta have my notes.
Okay.
I need to plan my jokes.
Yeah. No, yeah. Nostalgia Critic does that. I get it.
Yeah. It's gonna be a hellish 8 hours.
I want it to be fresh.
You can do fresh. I need to plan material because it can't just me going, God, this sucks for 4 hours.
I know. And
Which is what I'm afraid it's gonna be for me.
so and the thing is, like, yeah, if we watch it, if we start watching it like right off the bat when we're taping, there's going to be a lot of points where we're probably going to be like, I can't believe we just saw that. Stop this because we have to say out why this sucks so bad.
Oh no, we should just keep going and say why it sucks so bad.
Yeah, okay.
Because that just prolongs the experience.
Well, no,
if we
you're
pause.
absolutely right. If you could talk for 5 minutes during a Zack Snyder movie, you wouldn't lose any of the plot.
No,
No,
because
what-
You're
what
probably
plot?
because there
What
probably
plot?
was plot, right? Exactly.
Right. We're not going to lose any character moments. Like, there's going to be some cool slow motion special. I can't believe that guy made Watchmen. I can't wait till this whole thing is over.
you know, he's pretty decent at the character moments. Sam Raimi.
This is true. For the Love of the Game
True.
is a really good baseball movie.
Yes.
You ever see that movie about Kevin Costner? He's pitching a perfect game, and he's remembering back to his relationship with the lovely Kelly Preston, God rest in peace. And like, it's a really good movie. Like, you can't believe that's the guy that made Evil Dead
No, or the Spider-Man movies,
or the
or
Spider-Man movies.
he's currently working on Doctor Strange 2: Multiverse of Madness. So, in a recent interview, Benedict Cumberbatch came out and said that basically that he
came out and said that how bad Joss Whedon was. Basically, This
said
is
that
a-
Sam Raimi is an incredible force. he praised the job that he's doing. Ultimately, Cumberbatch did not speak of his experience making Doctor Strange. Has been shooting since before Christmas.
Hmm.
He said, "What is it? Sam, amazing. He's so collaborative. God, he comes with the baggage of an icon. He's an incredible force, especially in this genre.
Hmm.
But he is so humble. He's so nice. He's so appreciative. You really want to serve him." So
This is all a cut on Joss Whedon, isn't it?
it makes
No, because Cumberbatch never worked with Joss Whedon, so
no.
he
yeah.
wouldn't have that kind of baggage. I think he's just under Cumberbatch is a guy who likes to work and he understands that Whedon is a genre giant. He really is.
You
Or not
mean
Whedon,
Raimi.
sorry, Raimi. Raimi is a genre giant. Well,
I mean, Whedon was
Whedon was
giant-
before.
Yeah, yeah.
So-
Remember.
So my question is this one of those working on the film, promoting the film, saying good things moments, or do you think he really believes it's about Sam Raimi?
I
I've
don't-
never heard a bad thing about Sam
I was gonna
Raimi,
say I've
so-
never heard anyone say a bad thing about Sam
I've never
Raimi.
heard Cumberbatch gush about somebody.
No, because I think Sam Raimi's the kind of guy who like I think he's got his ideas for things, but I think he's really the kind of a director that kind of lets the actors do their characters and is really collaborative rather than being a Kubrick type who like really
Oh my God.
demands. is
It'll be
demanding
my
of
vision and
actors.
nobody else's.
Yeah,
you
I don't get that vibe out of Sam Raimi at all.
Have you ever seen the behind the scenes stuff of
Shining?
Shine? Yes.
Yeah. Where he made Scatman Crothers ran across the street 76 times.
Oh my God.
Oh,
And he
my-
Shelley
tortured
Shelley
tortured Shelley
Duvall
Long.
lost it. Yeah.
Yes.
Shelley Duvall. Not Shelley Long.
Kelly
Shelley
Duvall.
Long and Shining is a
Shelley
much
Long-
different
Shelley
movie.
Duvall. Yeah, sorry. you know who I mean. Yeah.
No, it's me. No, I made that mistake. No,
Mhm.
yeah, Kubrick was a sociopath. Like, no, but you don't hear that kind of stuff about Sam Raimi at all. Everybody loves working with him. So, and he often has the same people working with him over and over. Like
Yes.
crew wise, cast wise, that's what kind of guy he is.
That
Like,
does say something though
it
about
does.
that they like working with him.
And he's been working consistently for 40 years.
So here's the question: what will Bruce Campbell's cameo be?
That's a great question. I'm so disappointed we never got him as Mysterio in the original Spider-Man movie, the original Spider-Man movies. Because think about it, he'd have
Yes.
been perfect. He'd have been perfect.
Right, and he can't do Mysterio now because
No, now
Mysterio.
That's out of the bag. I don't know, but I'm sure it's going to be something great.
Craven.
No, I don't think he's too old for Kraven now.
Yeah.
I hope he's somewhat obscure from the Doctor Strange verse. You know,
A very old Autolycus King of Thieves.
something like that.
Yeah.
I think that's good. Like, I don't know. It'll be something interesting that'll make people laugh for 2 seconds and then we'll move on because that's typically what he does with Sam Raimi or with Bruce Campbell.
Yes.
Oh, what was that one that Bruce Campbell played like the Zorro type guy?
Jack of Hearts.
Jack of all
Thieves-
trades.
Jack of all trades. That's what it
Jack
was.
of all trades. Yeah.
That's a good show. You know, the other one, Briscoe County.
Briscoe
Jr.
County Jr.
That was a
very
good show
Yep.
too. Bruce Campbell's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see Bubba Hotep?
Yes.
No, I actually.
Oh
haven't.
my
He-
God.
He's okay. So Elvis is in a nursing home, right?
Yes.
This is like 15 years ago. Elvis is in a nursing home. He switched body. He switched like he did like a Prince and the Pauper thing with another guy, but that guy died. So then he kind of like had his get out of jail free card to like not be famous anymore. So now he's in this old folks home with Ozzie Davis, who believes he's John F. Kennedy, and then a mummy comes after them.
Oh my
And it's got
God.
one of the greatest chase sequences ever because, you know, Mummy moves slow and Elvis has a walker and they're racing from each other. It's phenomenal.
I have to watch
It's
that.
one of the best horror comedies ever made.
Yes.
Jeez.
And Bruce Campbell plays it so earnestly. It's great.
He's always been
Yes.
a very straight man. Like, look at him in Evil Dead, for crying out loud.
Well, I don't want to call him a straight man. I mean, by the first two, yes. By the Army of Darkness, he is like,
Well,
he's got
that
his head
was-
wrapped
yeah.
around ash and he's chewing on scenery. Like,
yeah,
Groovy.
yep,
Yeah.
yeah.
shop smart, click, click, shop S smart. No, phenomenal film.
So, speaking of phenomenal films, we have One Night in Miami in our brackets for this year's Nerd Madness, which stars Kingsley Ben Adir as Malcolm X
Mhm.
in the movie.
It's very good.
Yes.
Okay, so when I first saw this, I thought it was Ben Kingsley was going to show up again.
This is why you
we're getting our 10 rings. Or
This is why you have to
something.
click the link when you read it.
I
story.
know. I mean, you know.
He's been cast. We don't know who, but a main villain in Secret Invasion. And actually, I have to apologize because I saw them announce Secret Invasion. I didn't know that's going to be a TV show on Disney
Oh yeah,
Plus.
that's the one I was thinking of. That's the other show I was thinking of. Is this coming before or after Captain Marvel 2?
Oh, I don't know. It doesn't.
Gotta be after,
I don't
I'm
think
assuming.
it says in the article.
I would, you know what? I would have thought that they would have used Secret
No.
Invasion. Doesn't Secret Invasion involve that one Super Scroll guy?
It
who's-
says
No, it doesn't actually.
Actually, it's funny because it just says the mid-credits scene of WandaVision also appeared to set the stage for Captain Marvel 2 and Secret Invasion. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
My-
Marvel doesn't have hasn't revealed a director or screenwriter for Secret Invasion yet. So yeah, we don't know when it's coming. There's no way.
But this means if it's a TV show, then it's not going to be a big event like Civil War was. Like they
Oh,
aren't.
I don't know. We just had WandaVision. That was a pretty big event.
Yeah.
I know, but like if you go by the way they did the first 3 phases, like they almost did that like a storyline. You had a bunch of movies, then you had a mid credits big thing like Civil War, and then the end was Endgame, you know, and in Infinity War. So like I would have thought like the Secret Invasion would have been the big middle part of the next 3, and then the end game would have been whatever is time travel.
Feige's
guy.
come out and said that they're not considering phases anymore.
Huh.
They're just considering projects and how they tie in together and not worried about like a begin and middle end for the phases.
Well, you got to have
have-
that though, right?
Not unless you're in a constant state of phase, you know? You're
well,
just
yeah,
constantly doing stuff. And you can say that, but I mean, now the phase thing was more important with hiring a slate of directors to work on these things. And now with the advent of the shows, you can just constantly be churning things out,
So
you know?
here's a question. The TV shows
mhm.
in a post-COVID world, when things return back to normal, does as many people watch them still?
Oh,
Yeah, I do,
hell
for
yeah.
sure. They're, especially if it's good, because like people always watch TV.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already seen how good WandaVision was. There's no way you're going to miss the next TV show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think we're gonna keep. It's a different experience, and these are, you know, your big fans. Like WandaVision became the most popular. I had this debate on Facebook group I was on. I was trying to explain to them how popular WandaVision was, and they're being very dismissive of me because, like, well, Nielsen doesn't keep track of those numbers, and I had to like prove them that this was getting like tens and millions of views. I mean, like, these are popular now. We have, because movies can become tentpoles now, but like when you have a tentpoles, you need to have something to like like, you know, arc to
Right.
connect the tentpoles.
Right.
So that's what
Exactly.
these shows are going to do, right? They're going to form the tissue of what these movies are made out of.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, that's the whole thing. WandaVision set the stage for the next phase, even though we're not doing phases anymore.
Even though we're not doing that, yeah.
But yeah, it definitely set the stage for everything coming up.
Well, it set the stage for Doctor Strange, and who knows where Doctor Strange leaves us, and who I'm very curious to find out where Falcon Winter Soldier leaves us. What is that setting the stage for? We don't know.
I don't know.
No,
No
I really
idea.
don't. I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean,
I
think
got
about,
nothing.
think about this though, right? WandaVision dealt with epic, huge powers,
Yeah, grandiose, very grandiose.
changing the world, blah blah blah, magic. Falcon Winter Soldier is. I actually saw this comparison done. Bad Boys of the Marvel Universe.
I think depending on your age, that works. I really like the Lethal Weapon analogy
Yeah.
a lot more because Lethal Weapon's a much better movie. But yeah, I get it. I mean, it's very grounded.
It's very grounded, right? Yeah. Very well grounded for
grounded
Marvel.
for Marvel. Yeah.
Yes. You're dealing with basically two cops
Mhm.
and some kind of mystery or something around the shield.
Emo.
Yeah, so there was talks that like going forward they're going to separate the stuff going on in space, the big grandiose stuff, and then there's going to be the on Earth smaller things going on.
Could be.
And I think that's maybe what Falcon Winter Soldier's setting up is the smaller size.
Yeah, I mean, like, because you're gonna. Well, again, we're like comics where you can have the big space, metaphysical stuff, and we can have the street level stuff. So it wouldn't surprise me that's where this is going. Also, wouldn't surprise me if someone shits into a Skrull at the very end of the show. So, I don't know. I literally don't know. What we're going to try not to do is spend the next 6 weeks debating fan theories.
No.
Because that was an act of futility. But it's going to be fun talking.
Well, we now know what their level of trolling can be, and it's pretty damn high. Yeah,
very high.
We say we're not going to do that,
but we're going to do that. I'm trying to set parameters that are impossible to hold true.
Well, we also know that now that they have one under their belt, they'll probably get the timing better down and the budget better down, so they don't, like some of those trolls were not really on purpose. So this time some were. Right. Well, yeah, some were, but there were other parts where it was basically, like I said, they ran out of time, or they couldn't finish the CGI. So, like this time they'll probably do better, and we'll see more payoffs.
I don't know. It's only been 2 weeks. Like, it's not like they've had a year to like reap the benefits of it. Like they're working. Right. These projects were made in parallel. So
well, yeah, but I mean, but I don't know. Well, hopefully, maybe.
I don't know. It's going to be a different show. It looks very different. I'm very excited by it.
Yes. By the way, I now have proof that executives at Marvel and executives at Warner Brothers at least visit our website.
Oh, yeah?
So, do you guys remember a few years ago we talked about characters, specifically female characters that weren't like would make good movies that haven't been represented yet?
Yeah.
And my two picks, and I even wrote an article on the website after we talked about it on the show. I wrote an article spilling out my argument. She-Hulk and Zatanna. I said would be like from each camp. Would be make really good standalone movies. Of course, we know we're getting a She-Hulk TV series.
Mm-hmm.
And now they just announced Batgirl and Zatana are coming to HBO Max. Yes.
Cool. I hope we treat Zatanna with some reverence. She's a cool character, and we don't get all Skinamaxy.
Yeah. And she's quite powerful too.
Yes.
Like, everybody thinks that she was a sideshow until, like, if you watch some of the Justice League Dark stuff, you begin to realize that she's in a weight class. She's in one of the higher weight classes.
Super powerful, super interesting character, iconic look. Yep. Like I just hope the character's treated with some reverence and not just made into cheesecake.
Yeah,
because it's very easy with like I said, with an iconic look.
I don't think you can get away with that in today's world.
I don't think so either. But like someone sent me a message on it, goes, I hope this doesn't it's using that exact phrase, Skinamax. And I thought the same thing as you, but I'm like, you know what? Yeah, but maybe it probably deserves a voice to express those
Might be.
concerns.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, there is the possibility of them going, oh, it's just on HBO Max. We can get away with it.
That's a concern, you know. And DC pushes, they push the envelope a little bit more than Marvel does with these things, and they don't push it well, but they do push it. So I am cautiously optimistic. I'm very more optimistic about the Batgirl thing.
Really?
I think it's harder to screw up Batgirl.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
You saw the animated Killing Joke?
I did.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I did, and no.
So do you know for all the good that Bruce Timm has brought to these characters, he is way into the idea that Batman and Batgirl should hook up. Because that was on his Justice.
It was
League
on the original run, yeah.
Yeah, that was in Batman Beyond. Like that's always been kind of one of his things that he thinks should be a thing. That I think he's kind of on an island with this one.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Everybody, you know, if it weren't for that, he'd be utterly perfect. You know,
yeah, everyone's got something.
Best. Yeah, but better that than whatever's coming out with Joss Whedon and some of the other stuff.
This is true. Way, yes. In the grand scheme of things, way better. I'm very excited. I think that Batgirl is a character that has not been represented well in media since the mid 60s. So, well, what? Like other than Yvonne Craig playing her in the 66 show with a, again, dynamic look and fit the tone of that show well.
Alicia Silverstone.
I stand by what I said.
Yeah. No, that was that.
She was on top of the world before Batman and Robin, and after Batman and Robin, her career really hit a patch.
You think?
You know, I do. It's been 25 years. I think I can boldly make this claim.
Yeah,
I'm old.
Yes, you are. We're the old guy show, remember?
Oh, he's right. Jesus. Yeah, I think it's time. I think we need a good Batman. I think we need a good Batgirl character on in mass media. I'm surprised it's taken this long.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I wonder if she shares the universe with like Titans or on her own. I don't know.
Who knows? Who knows at this point?
I don't think they know. So yeah.
And finally, everyone knows that they're going to be getting a commentary track from us for the Snyder Cut. You're welcome. But if they really want to, they can have a live watch party with Zack Snyder himself on an app called Scener, Scener. It's like
Scener.
Okay.
Skeeter.
Well, I'm thinking screener. That's what I thought it originally said. So like I couldn't get that out of my head. So yeah, you can sign up for it and you can watch along with Zack Snyder when it comes out. Of course, by the time you hear this, you only have one day to sign up. What do you guys think? Should we watch it with Zack?
Can you interact with him?
It says you can submit comments. Doesn't mean
so that's no. But my concern is that is going to be a mutual admiration society. It's going to be people telling him how amazing he is, and him eating.
Why do you think he's doing it?
I wonder.
It makes perfect sense.
I wonder what the delay is on the comment section, right?
Well, yeah. Well, if you're gonna be a troll, they're gonna kick you out right away.
He's not even looking at it. He's getting curated comments.
Right. Exactly. They're gonna have moderators who make sure we don't wound his ego. So yeah, I have no interest in this.
So Scener's something that lets you watch stuff from a couple of the different streaming stuff. Like if we both install it, we'd both watch it and it would sync it up, so we're watching at the same time.
Which, by the way, what a great idea.
Yeah. There's a few things that do that now.
Maybe that's what we'll use so we can watch it all together.
Oh, hey, that's a great idea. Maybe we should look into it. We kind of came on dogging on this, but maybe that's gonna help make our jobs easier.
Well, we're dogging on Snyder. We're not dogging on Scener.
No, let's. I don't know. I've known nothing about Scener. We should probably think about giving that a whirl.
Yes. All right.
Our new sponsor is
Cedar. I get why Cedar's doing this. I mean, they're going to get a bunch of people. I mean, like, say what you want about Zack Snyder, and we do every week, but he's got a loyal army of miscreants that defend everything he does. I mean, like, man's popular.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Like, so I get why they're doing it. They're going to make some money off it. So kudos to them.
Well,
smart move.
I mean, God, they're already talking. Oh, he should get to continue the story now
No.
and finish it up.
no.
They're going to say that. They're already trending. Restore the Snyderverse. Because this is what you do when this happens when you give in to terrorists.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's about right.
Oh my God.
The one thing I am most interested in about the Snyder Cut is how Hulkenberg scored it. Hulkenborg. That's all I care about. It's not going to be Zimmer, and Danny Elfman's score didn't impress. I'm just more interested in the music than I am in the rest of it.
I think that's
basically.
fair. I mean, I know someone was dogging on us a couple weeks ago, being like, "You guys already made your mind up," and it's like, well, we have seen the movie,
Yes.
so
Wait. Okay. 2 things on that. Number one, we said this earlier when you were playing with your headphones,
All
Sorry.
right.
that Josh Whedon reshot 85% of the movie.
well, he has to get the DJ.
And the people who have seen it saying it's a completely different movie.
I'm sure it's going to be a different movie,
Right.
but I know what I saw: Man of Steel, and I saw Batman v Superman.
Yes.
The lawsuit that was filed in conjunction with Warner Brothers, and I didn't like either of them. So, you know,
But
the actual work has colored my opinion.
Anybody who's and name any other Snyder movie. I mean, basically
The Owls of Ga'Hoole.
yeah, or 300, or because 300
Watchmen.
is basically Justice League.
Sucker Punch.
Yeah, Sucker Punch, right?
like any of them.
Man,
So
that was a mind screw.
So I forgot to include this article this week, but I heard about this. Zack Snyder was talking about the storyboards for the trilogy he was doing, and
I don't think he knows how storyboards work, considering his plot.
and the
He only
ideas
knows how storyboards work.
and the ideas that he had for the movie, and I'm thinking that this idea was taken out, so we don't have to worry about it. But here was the original plot of the whole thing.
Oh no.
After Superman dies, Batman and Lois hook up.
Oh God.
And you've lost us.
Hold on, I'm not done yet.
And you've lost us.
They
there.
They have a kid together.
Oh my God. Is there a big spider involved? I mean, come on.
This is worse than John.
This is
Cena.
Nicolas Cage, Superman.
No, this
And
is worse.
And then
Continue.
Lois gets killed from what's his name?
Darkseid.
By
Darkseid.
Martha.
So that's, remember in Batman v Superman when Flash comes back in time and he's like, "Oh no, I'm too soon." He's like, "You're right, Lois is the key." So what happens is Flash goes back in time
To stop Superman or Batman from hooking up with Lois Lane.
No, they end up resurrecting That's when they resurrect Superman. And then in the final battle, Batman sacrifices himself to save Lois. And then Superman and Lois are back together, and they raise the kid as their own.
I don't want to do this.
No.
Now, I can only think they revealed that because that was completely removed. I would have to imagine that's not in it anymore.
Wouldn't call it erotic.
But then it makes no sense why we still have the Flash going back in time in that movie. So yeah.
I have a legit question. Is the movie we're going to get this week what he actually made, or is this something he's had like hindsight in seeing what Whedon did and making different adjustments? So is this
Yeah.
actually the movie that we would have gotten in
I don't think-
2016? I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I really don't at this point. I think
Plus,
it's
plus he's had all this time to think about it and to gauge stuff to like not just what Whedon did, but like, you know, maybe add things of his own and like, yeah,
Right.
yeah. There's no way he
I mean,
didn't
that's the thing,
adjust
yeah.
this.
you have enough footage. You do enough ADR. You can redo the story however you want.
Oh yeah, and the budget he was given to do this, right? Like he was given more of a budget than he would have had on just a movie, right?
No, I thought he was giving like 80 million to finish it up, as opposed to 300 million. So
Well, he spent most of the 300 million already, so this is 80 million on top of that.
right, but I mean, it's not like he can reshoot the entire movie for $80 million.
Well, no, but for that much, you can actually finally hide Superman's mustache. I mean,
Oh, well, that's the thing too, because they were saying that none of that footage is being used, so you don't
Yeah, 'cause
have
it
the
was all-
bad.
Yeah, that was all Whedon footage.
That was all Whedon having to reshoot everything. God, a stupid mustache. It would have been easier to CG a mustache onto Henry Cavill.
This movie is a freaking nightmare, man.
It
Like they've
is.
been making this movie since what, 2014-ish? No, 2015, roughly. Like, sweet jeepers. Like, what are we doing?
Well, I mean, the geek culture brought this on itself.
Oh,
Like,
yes.
You know, they
It
asked for
did. It did. And people from Warner Media, people from Warner Media lost their jobs, and like,
But
the company took a giant shit so they could give us, this over bloated, pointy movie.
This is
well,
like
at least
somebody,
I'm in there now.
yeah. This is oh god. This is
And
like
they worked
somebody.
in a meme.
This is like somebody made a wish, for a better Justice League movie and didn't realize their hand was on a monkey's paw.
Yeah, this is literally the definition of monkey's paw. Is they did this to Warner Media was so poorly managed, right, that every other division of the company completely fell on its ass when this pandemic hit, and all they could think to save it was to do this, and they fired so many people.
Yep.
Yeah.
So many people that died on the altar of this movie. It's astonishing to me.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, they also fired, like from the DC side, they fired a lot of people. They let a lot of people go. What is it? A couple of months ago, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they've cut that place like 3-4 times now.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, for this movie, for whatever reason, it's just, it doesn't matter. It's like, I don't think even if there are creative people left in the building, they are not very motivated right now after the last couple of years. And this Snyder thing getting done, like just mangling characters that people love,
So look forward to our commentary track coming.
I mean, if it's competent, I think people are. If it's not god awful, people are going to be like, "Yeah, it's better than I thought." Like the expectations are so low,
right.
that people are just like, it's going to get good reviews because it's not going to be quite as shitty as people imagine. Like it can't be as bad as we think it's going to be, right?
Hold that thought.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I mean, like
Hold
we
that-
really think the worst of this movie, right?
Yeah.
Justifiably so, in my opinion. So if it's not as horrible as we think it is it therefore a success?
That is a
No,
good
see
question.
that, yeah, you know what? All things being equal, even if it's better than we think it is, and we will say if it's better than we thought it was.
Yes.
It still doesn't make it a success if it's still like, if it's still like horrible. I mean, we're on the low bar of things, but there's still a middle section where, if it's below that bar, there's only so many times you want to hit yourself in the face with a mallet. So,
Yeah.
like, I mean, if this is anywhere close to being as bad as I think it's going to be, I don't even know if I want to watch anything more made by him. Like, what's the point?
I haven't. Like, I mean, if they decide to go forward with it after this movie, if they decide that, oh yeah, we are going to bring the Snyder stuff back, which they can't, the wheels are already in motion. But let's just say they make a bad decision, which they're prone to. I think I'm out on my favorite superheroes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you still got the animated side, which is doing okay. You know, they're still putting out some good quality stuff, but the movie side, you know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think I'm just out, you know, because I don't like any of it. Like, I didn't even like Wonder Woman. Oh, I didn't dislike Wonder Woman 84, but that was even so slapdash that just made me kind of
the ending of that was just as bad as any other ending.
The beginning, like,
yeah,
it didn't work. Like, I'm so cold on all of this right now. You know, meanwhile, we spend 9 weeks, you know, analyzing WandaVision like it's the freaking Zapruder film, trying to figure out who the second witch on the grassy knoll was.
the second arch villain, right?
This really is an old people show, isn't it? I just made a Zapruder film joke. Like, Jesus.
But no, you're right. But that's the thing. We care about those characters.
I know.
We have those characters have agency. The DC stuff, they're just putting it out for money.
I
The
know.
only reason it's making money is because the names are Superman and Batman.
That's the trick, is that we don't even know how it's making money. Like, there's no this, which is really a way they can't.
Transformers:
fail.
Dark Side of the Moon made money. I mean, you know, like
Dark of the Moon,
whatever. You put enough explosions and enough, you know,
they
cool
stopped,
instances.
But they stopped making money after people got tired of them. Those
Right.
Transformers movies, like
finally,
Bumblebee
after what, 7 of them,
something like that. But Bumblebee was the best one. It didn't.
But it
do
had
well.
nothing to do with the others. That was the thing.
Kind of, sort of. But I mean, like, it's the best one. But the audience has gotten so tired of Michael Bay's BS with it that they dismissed it out of hand. So there is a well of where people will stop.
Did Bay do Bumblebee?
No, but I mean, you can't associate those Transformers without Michael Bay.
Right, and that's the thing. Like he jinxed it, but the Bumblebee was done so well.
But nobody cared. But nobody cared because then he had already poisoned the well. So I mean, like, and this is where we're at. I mean, like, I hate to be this negative on it, but I've just seen nothing over. It's been 8 years since Man of Steel came out.
Yeah.
Right, and it's like that wasn't good. Batman versus Superman was worse, and people will sit there and they'll look you in the face and tell you it was great while making Martha jokes.
Well, the Man of Steel thing has become a meme. Like, you know, what anytime you talk about a superhero that doesn't care about collateral damage and a body count, you're going to refer to Man of Steel.
Yeah, and I remember at the time I was trying to convince myself it wasn't that bad because I really wanted to like that movie. And like, I'm like, well, there's a lot of chaos in Avengers too. But it just didn't.
They were trying to protect people.
They were trying. That's the thing. They were trying to protect people, and Superman's like, "Ooh, I have a chance to kill somebody. I think I'm gonna take it."
Right. And that's the whole thing. Like, people sit there and say, "Oh, but there was still chaos in those movies." It's like, yes, but they made it. They took a moment to show the heroes actually trying to do stuff to protect the people.
Captain America trying to save the girl from growing pains it worked. That really helped.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't get that. We just don't get that in that movie. Like, it's just torture porn. It's just buildings blowing up. It's just
it got so bad that, remember, in Batman versus Superman, when they started fighting whatever that thing was, that's not what's his face, the clone creature. They're fighting him on the island, and they made a point in the script to constantly mention that it was uninhabited. You know?
Yeah, but that's not the same as protecting people.
No, it's not. It's like
that's the biggest issue with this Superman is we never really get him
caring
protecting
about
people. Yeah, there's this whole lack of empathy from this God amongst men. It's like Snyder really loves the idea of the God amongst men, but doesn't really have like the empathy that makes Superman special. Like, he doesn't. Clearly, he's not interested in that type of a character because, like, he goes, oh, we had to do this to make Superman, We couldn't just have him be a Boy Scout. It's like if Superman's not a Boy Scout, he's Homelander, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And of course, Lois is supposed to be his anchor to humanity, and they made her a wet blanket. Like
Yeah.
she's got no personality, nothing really.
I don't know if I agree with that. I don't have an issue with Amy Adams' portrayal in
Oh
either
no,
movie.
I mean, Amy Adams is good, but again, there was like the interaction.
It just doesn't, yeah, because it's not on the page, right? And like as great as Goyer was a decade and a half ago, like I don't think his stuff has aged that well because we've seen better come since, right? So it doesn't have the same pathos, and that's the big problem with Superman. Superman is a character that has to have pathos and has to be anchored into like this sense of like morality and justice, and it doesn't. They're not interested in that.
The opening 12 minutes of Superman and Lois
is way better than Man of Steel.
Okay. The most important scene is him stopping a car from killing a little kid and then picking up his hat and handing it to him.
And smiling. And people like Superman's so corny. Has to be.
Yes.
Has to be.
You know what? There's a video on YouTube called Superman with a GoPro. I think I've showed it to you guys, but it was a while ago. Even that was better than the Man of Steel movie. And that was done by a bunch of amateurs.
But again, it's like people that it doesn't take much to understand the character, right? But most people don't understand the character of Superman.
Right.
Like I hear it all the time, he's boring. It's like, no, he's not boring. Like it's very hard. It's not very hard to write a Superman story. People get into the wrong things about Superman. Right. And it's like there's so much there that you can do with him. Right. And they just don't.
All you need is one intelligently written villain, and like any intelligently written villain,
he's got an underrated rogues gallery. They didn't even have the bad one. Zod is a good villain. Zod's a great villain. I have no issue with how Michael Shannon played him or even what the plot. I mean, it made sense. What they're doing makes sense. I don't think it's the right move for a Superman 1, personally.
Yeah, no.
We had no establishment of what a Kryptonian is before it's all thrown at us. So I have issue with that. But like, he's fine as a villain. Like they actually did a good job writing a sympathetic, understandable, evil villain. I have no qualm with anything he tried to do as a villain. My qualm with Superman is he takes the shortcut way out. And it's like Superman is a character who's about being impossible, right? And if you don't embrace the impossibility, why are you writing Superman? Just write Batman.
Right.
Yep.
Just write Batman's about figuring something out in the moment. How can I do this quickly? And, if it gets dirty, that's Batman. That's not Superman, right? And that bothers me.
Yeah.
He should have picked up and flumed the moon, which is what he did in Superman 4, The Quest for freaking Peace. Like they got that more in that movie than in this multi-million-dollar. I mean, I hate bitching about this thing over and over again, but
again, the let's have our major fight, in the middle of the city with people trying to evacuate and just knock entire buildings down. I mean, the body count in that was freaking, come on.
Oh yes, it was millions and millions of people died in Man of Steel. They were kind of written off very quickly.
Yeah.
Right. And then again, it just
they tried to what's one of the first things they tried to address in Batman v Superman with Bruce Wayne driving into the city trying to save people.
Right. Batman's actually out there saving people. Like I get it. Like the Superman they created, they have the right. It's completely unlikable.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But he should be likable. Henry Cavill's a likable guy. You look at him and there's a disconnect, and I just don't think Zack Snyder's the right guy for this stuff, man. And I don't understand. There's so many guys out there that would be better for this. You know who would make a great Superman movie? Jon Favreau.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Easily.
Because he loves the characters, and he cares about the characters.
Mm-hmm.
He cares about moments.
Yeah. There's like, gosh, Dave Filoni could make a good Superman movie. There's guys who understand these character beats that could make these things, and we don't get them. Like, I almost want to have a Snyderverse fan on at some point to tell us why we're wrong. Because I want to hear someone tell me I really do want to hear someone from the other side tell me why what I think is incorrect about this, because I want to hear and I want to hear how they connect to this character, because there's like this giant wall between the people that love the Snyder stuff and the people that hate the Snyder stuff. And I want to hear what one of them actually says, not types. Like I want to know what they love about this movie, because I don't get it. I'll never understand it.
See, and if we did that, my rebuttal would be just playing the everything wrong with video on YouTube about
I mean,
Man of Steel,
like-
because it lists literally for 22 minutes everything that's
No.
wrong with the movie about how you cannot even follow the plot.
No, I mean, like I don't want to do that, because I do want to hear someone. Like and we're
I mean, no, I
respectful
want to
guests.
hear too. Yeah,
Remember, was it Bobby Del Rio? Was that the jerk guest we had on that one? Like we're polite to everybody,
Right.
Mhm.
you know. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I hate to be this guy, but we just as
No,
we're
no,
prepping- I feel like
yeah.
we're prepping for a funeral, because we're about to watch this 4-hour movie, knowing that it's not going to be good, and like
So we're gonna-
justifying it to
well,
ourselves.
if it's that bad, I mean, I will write out my last will and testament. Just in
We're gonna
case.
wear all black when we do this.
Yeah, I think we should. To be honest,
Already
with you.
am.
You know, like I said, if it doesn't suck, that's the thing. Is if it doesn't completely suck, I feel like we're gonna come out and go, yeah, you know, it was better than I expected it to be. You know, because
So-
the bar is so low.
Yeah.
So we'll all have dim lights. We'll all wear black. I know it fits the Snyderverse.
Mhm.
So
I mean, the funny
All
thing
right.
Put
is,
my hair into a
the-
ponytail.
here's the funny thing. Like
That
when
embarrasses
when my brother comes over from Connecticut to visit me for a week, we sit down, we watch Neil Breen movies, and Neil Breen movies are so terrible that we can sit there and actually enjoy watching them, make fun of them. You can't even do that with Snyder because Neil Breen is so
Well,
a caricature of a human being.
If we
Zack
can't,
Snyder, like people actually take it seriously.
if we can't, we're this little audio track we're gonna make is gonna be horrible to listen to. So we have to be able to make.
Well,
fun
it's
of it.
already gonna be horrible. It's gonna be. I mean,
all right,
it's we'll
we're
they'll listen to us.
Yeah,
we're-
we beat
We'll
this
have
to
funny
death.
things to say
we
about it.
beat
I'm
this
sure.
to death at this point. So
Yeah, sorry.
let's wrap it up. Any recommendations for the people out there, John?
That
The
was it?
anime you mentioned already.
Yeah, the anime I mentioned already. The where is it? Damn it, I missed it. Death March to the Parallel World Rhapsody. It's actually pretty good. You know, I'm actually buying the
That's
manga
JD's new band.
It's my new
Yeah.
emo band.
now.
Gonna
Oh
wear some
man, I love it.
eyeshadow.
Otherwise, yeah, again, like we mentioned Enola Holmes, I would hardly recommend people watch that and then vote, you know, after they've seen it, you know, vote your conscience. But I think as long as you watch that movie, it'll give it a good run for, you know, give the other stuff on the tier list a good run for their money. Yeah, that's it for me.
Cool. How about you, JD?
I found a podcast this weekend called "The Best Movies Never Made," and this episode that I found, it's the guy. You guys ever see Hordowarsky's Dune? Like it's this documentary about Alexander Hordowarsky in the '60s. He tried to make Dune into a movie, and it was like way too ahead of its time, and he was way too weird to make it work. But it makes a phenomenal documentary. The director of that movie and the guy who wrote Sonic the Hedgehog
Oh,
have a
geez.
podcast, and
Huh.
they're hilarious. They have great chemistry.
Huh.
And oftentimes they read scripts from these unproduced movies. And the show that I found last week was episode 1 of Justice League Mortal, which was the George Miller attempt to make the Justice League into, and it was the Tower of Babel was the movie that was the storyline that they were adapting. And I'm glad that didn't happen. In retrospect.
Oh dear.
But it's a really good podcast. I downloaded a handful of episodes. They did a 2-part episode on the unmade versions of Stephen King's It, and it's really good. It's called "The Best Movies Never Made." Like I highly recommend it. It's a good show.
Cool. All right. Well, I will recommend that you head on over to superheroespeak.com, where you can find the podcast every week, reviews by our good friend D Square, and make sure you are following us on Twitter or Facebook so you can vote in Nerd Madness. First poll will be out we'll be probably doing 4 a week until we wrap the whole thing up. So keep an eye out for that. And do I have any recommendations this week?
Do you?
No, I just been like,
Get an extra hour of sleep.
get an extra hour of sleep. I mean, yeah, the other things I watched this week were Flash and Superman and Lois, and yeah, that's it. I mean, Flash is interesting this season. I kind of felt like the first 2 episodes were what were supposed to be the last 2 episodes of the
Well,
last
yeah,
season.
they ended early. They ended the last season early because of COVID.
Yeah, and the way that
everything got.
the way the second episode ended, it's like, oh, that's supposed to be a season cliffhanger. That makes more sense. So
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got this week, boys and girls. So I will say, as always, thanks for hanging out. Don't let your cake get caught at the door. Have a good week. Hey, thanks for checking out this clip from the Superhero Speak podcast. If you like what you saw, hit that like button. You can also leave us a comment and give us your thoughts. If you really liked it, hit that subscribe button because a new podcast goes up every week and you don't want to miss it. And if you want to see the full episode, of course, the link is in the description below. So thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.